Doris, now where have you lived in Deerfield?
I've lived on Osterman Avenue all my life.
In the same house?
No, across the street.
Okay, so, and whereabouts on Osterman?
On the other side of the railroad tracks, about in the middle of the block of the south side.
Ah, okay. Not the brick house?
Which, not the big one, no.
No.
The two-story, that was Osterman's house.
Oh, okay.
No.
In that vicinity, and then
Yeah.
then you moved
Across the street.
across the street?
To where I am now, yeah.
Ah, so that's,
Yeah.
okay. Now, does your family have a background in the area, in Deerfield?
Not Deerfield, no, my folks came from Northbrook.
Okay, so you're still pretty local,
Yeah.
and that would work. So, now, did you grow up in Deerfield then? Okay, and what was that neighborhood like when you were young, say, compared to what we would see if we went there now?
Oh, we had fun. There was several kids of my age, and we'd play kick the can at night, hide and seek. And at the corner house there where Jacobs lived, father would be out pitching us balls at night. We'd play baseball. We had a lot of fun.
And then would you have gone to Deerfield Grammar School?
We walked through a path up to Port's Corner, and there'd be pussy willows alongside of the path. Where grade school was up where the historic buildings are now. Yeah, that was kindergarten to 8th grade up there.
In the same building?
Uh-huh.
In the same building. And you walked back and forth, and for lunch then? Did you have lunch at the school, or you went?
You know, I can't remember that.
Oh, okay. But you didn't have a bus ride or parents driving you to school? You were hiking over there?
That's a good question.
Well, my husband went back and forth for lunch too.
Well,
so
I suppose we did too.
Well, maybe you did, but I was just wondering.
Yeah.
It's a lot of walking compared to what children do now who are going to school at Deerfield.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Are there any teachers or staff people from the school that you remember?
Oh, I remember the teachers, our orchestra teacher, Miss Ingalls. Then she was married, well, and she was with us she was Mrs. Hardacre then. And we had a Mrs. Knack for first grade. Second grade was Miss Toll, I think. Third grade, a blank. And fifth grade was Irene Evanston. Seventh grade, well, I can't remember that one either. And eighth grade was, it's not coming to me now.
What kind of things do you remember? Any special activities or anything from grade school that you remember? You know, being friends?
We had no recess morning and afternoon.
Ah.
And we had equipment out there, those monkey bars, you know, that I could never conquer. Baseball. Can't remember anything really particular about else.
Did you have assemblies at school or dances or any kinds of things like that?
I don't remember dances. We must have had assemblies. Yeah.
And you were going to grade school in what decade?
30s.
In the 30s. In the 30s.
Yeah.
And the Depression, do you remember that being an issue? I mean, you were pretty young, so maybe it wouldn't have seemed...
I don't think I remember too much about that.
So everything seemed perfectly fine. And then you went to Deerfield Shields High School?
Uh-huh.
And now you took a bus there.
Oh, yeah. I think we got it uptown. We had to walk uptown for it.
And was that the only place you could get on the bus, no matter?
Well, I can't say that. I don't know.
I mean, that would have
they didn't come to each house or anything like that.
Okay, because that would have been a bit of a walk for you.
Oh, yeah, but we were used to walking by that time.
What were some of the things that that you would do for fun in the neighborhood? That was pre-TV, right?
Yeah.
So what were some of the things you did with your friends, say, after school?
Well, we'd play baseball, we'd play cards. We'd leave the cards right on the table and go home for lunch and come back during the summer vacation, you know. I don't know, can't think of anything else really. We just played outdoors all the time. We had boots and we had ski pants. In the winter, we put it over the radiator to dry and then go out again.
The radiators are handy for that.
Yeah.
I kind of like them for that. And did you skate in town?
Oh, we skate. I learned to skate in my backyard.
Oh,
And I think this doesn't seem right, but I remember roller skating, ice skating to school because we had an ice storm. But I can't believe that they would have school on a day like that, so I don't know why I remember that way.
you mentioned, did you roller skate also? You mentioned,
Yeah, but not that much.
Not that much.
We had roller skates, yeah.
and the old-fashioned kind that
Yeah, with the key.
went on with the key.
Oh, we'd take our bikes and go out to Dam Number 1 in the summertime. We'd take our bikes, ride our bikes out
Now,
there.
okay, now how did you get there? Because not all the streets that we have now were,
Yeah, well, we must have gone down Osterman to Central and then out to Dundee or something, and then Dundee down, and that's where it was before you got to Wheeling.
that was a pretty good-sized trip for the time. Traffic wasn't an issue?
I don't remember it.
Couldn't have been too bad because we're here talking about it now, so.
Yeah,
That was a, so, now what do you remember about the downtown Deerfield? You were not really that far away from it.
No. Well, I remember a lot about it.
Okay, then let's hear her.
The stories that were here and there.
Stories that were here and there, that would be good.
Well, I can start at, let me get my thing here. Waukegan Road and Deerfield Road. You really want all these stores named?
Well, how about the ones that you shopped at, your family shopped at? That were kind of special stores that you liked?
Oh, yeah, well, the bakery was across the street from where it is now, and next to them was Wilson and Regan. That was a grocery store, and we shopped there. And then the Presbyterian Church is just a little bit north of that. I was married there. My 2 kids were baptized there. And then we had a little strip thing across the street.
That would have been east of Wilson and Reagan?
Is
that what you're talking about?
And across the street too. Wilson and Regan were on the west side of the street.
Okay. And the little strip mall you're talking, the strip of stores would have been on the east side there on Waukegan Road?
Yeah.
Kind of where Marshall Mall?
Uh-huh,
Okay.
yeah.
And what was in there at the time?
There was, well, Liebschild's Liquor Company, I think they bottled stuff there. And then after he left, Earl Marshall was there. That was a Duraclean.
Ah, and the name, he must have bought the building then, because
Well, could be, yeah.
Marshall Mall?
Yeah. Then I got 2 question marks. Then there was a house, and then there was a lot of Bergen-Ehler funeral home.
And that building is still there?
Yeah,
'Cause it's,
that's the
so
one.
here's the bakery, the driveway, and then that building would be
Yeah.
south of that
Yeah, but
driveway now, where things
Yeah,
are now.
now, yeah.
And that was the funeral home. I think
Yeah.
now it's a tailor shop or a beauty shop? something.
It's a beauty shop now. It was several things, but now it's been a beauty shop for
Right.
quite a while. Yeah,
Now, was that the only funeral home in town for a while? Okay.
yeah,
And now there isn't any, right?
No, we don't have
Company's
any.
Be the closest, okay.
yeah, yeah. And then there was I got 2 blanks here for 2 stories. And the R.A. Nelson grocery store. And then Deerfield State Bank was about where the music store is now.
Okay.
And then a vacant lot, and then the corner store, I got that as a restaurant, but
I think you're right. Was it Chagrew's?
that's right.
Because several other people have
Oh.
talked about that. So now, did you eat there?
I don't remember eating there, no.
Okay. It's come up in several discussions, and so I think it must have been a very popular place in Deerfield to go.
Yeah. And then next to him going east was Ollendorf's, that was a dry goods store. And next to him was Harry's First Place. And then when he left, that was Mrs. Herman's.
And that was,
That was an eating place too, I think, yeah.
tell me what people could get in that dry goods store. Because it's kind of a, term that you don't hear too much now.
Yeah, I don't know if there was clothes in there, already bought, if it was yard goods or what.
But mostly something related to clothing.
Yeah.
You could buy it made, or you could get
Yeah,
fabric and make it yourself.
I knew
And
Billy Ollendorf.
Oh,
And he
okay.
had a brother too, I forgot his name.
Ah,
And then there was a driveway, and after that, I don't know. There was a A&P, I think, a little bit farther down, and then later that was a National, I think.
and I think the building's still there.
Well, that's where the Amish,
Amish furniture store.
yeah, yeah.
So that's, yeah, that would make it a little older building in town now, really.
Yeah. And then going across from that restaurant, that was Legler and Hout Drugstore years ago. And then I got an alley, and then I got a question mark.
Okay, and I can't,
And then the Deerfield Bakery was there. And then next to the drugstore was the Blue Goose Grocery.
Blue Goose?
Uh-huh. And next to them was our first post office that I remember. It had boxes on one wall with combinations that you had to open your box. And next to them was a record store.
Okay. Lenny's.
Um,
Is that Lenny's?
Okay, that's good.
Does that sound right to you?
Yeah, I couldn't
It's kind
remember.
of a Deerfield fixture, so that would be the Kennigan Stray building now, what we would think
Yeah.
of as Kennigan Stray.
Uh-huh, yeah. And then next to them was the cleaners, dry cleaners. Then there was a little driveway through there. And then there was a house set back, and that was a Presbyterian church house for the minister, which was Dr. Ware.
Oh, all right.
And then next to him, there was a house, and then there was Milton France plumbing
Okay.
thing. And then houses down, a couple houses after that. Then there was a Pure Oil station there on the corner of Park Avenue.
A gas station down there.
I think so, yeah.
So that would be about where they have the garden, the farmer's market now?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right, yeah. And then the railroad station is there, and that was Park Avenue there, like it is now. So then I'll go back to Deerfield Road and Waukegan Road,
Okay.
going south. Mrs. Tracy's sweet shop was on the corner.
Now, did you go in there?
Oh, yeah.
What kind of things did she have?
Well, she had those square banana things wrapped up. I forgot what they were called. And she had ice cream, and she had a little Nickelodeon in the back, and we could dance a little bit with a couple booths back there. Yeah, that was a popular place.
And were grade school kids in there, or high school kids, or what age, any age of kids, or?
I just remember us being there. I don't remember high school kids.
Okay, so
there must have been.
More grade school, or at the time you went in there,
Yeah.
would be pretty much grade school.
Yeah. And then next to her, I got Vanton Selleck,
All right.
Realtors, and then a barber shop, and then Frost Paper and Tobacco Place, and then Notes Hardware Store. Then there's a little driveway there that went around and came out on Deerfield Road. And next to that, I got a building, a little building.
I'd have to
And I've got Gilmore there.
check, I don't know about that one.
And then next to him was the Red Horse Station.
And what was that? Oh, gas?
Gas, yeah.
Ah, okay, that's a brand that we don't have anymore, right?
No, it was mobile.
It was, okay,
Yeah,
mobile?
The Flying Red
Oh,
Horse,
the Flying
yeah.
Red Horse, okay.
And then next to that was a long sidewalk. And back there was Matt Hoffman's house and his barber shop. And then he grew grapes all the way down to the railroad station.
I understand too that he had a license to make wine, I think.
Well, yeah, he made wine. I didn't know he had a license. I mean,
Well,
but probably needed it, yeah.
Because I think sometimes you could have a little wine with the haircut, I think, which is a bonus.
Yeah.
I've heard this. from
Oh,
people,
okay.
so-
Good,
And the fact that you remember him growing the grapes would
yeah.
fit in with that.
Yeah. And then there was a Pure station there. I got to the west to the south of that little
Yeah,
sidewalk.
it's sounding like a lot of gas stations, which
Yeah.
is sort of interesting for a small town.
Yeah,
Now that I think about it.
right, and there's a couple more yet. And then, that was a field.
Where the Commons is now?
Yeah, there's a path there, and we'd walk up there. And then there was a garage south of that, and which turned out to be the bowling alley later.
Right, the Reliable Garage that became the bowling
Yeah,
alley.
yeah.
Now, did you ever bowl there?
Oh, yeah, I belonged to a league.
Oh, okay, and what league were you part of? Or which leagues? Were you in more than one?
No, I think we were just one. The name of it?
I mean, from what group?
Oh, well, we didn't, it wasn't a name thing.
Oh, you
but-
just had joined the,
Yeah.
just like Deerfield people
Yeah,
at,
Mr. Pachetti built it. Yep, yeah.
and then did you bowl like once a week?
Oh, yeah, in the league, yeah.
Was it a very big place?
Oh,
I mean, compared to, say, modern, what we think about with a modern bowling alley.
yeah, it must have had 6 or 8 alleys and had pin boys, no electric pin setters in the beginning.
That sounds like a bit of a risky job to me. Were they neighbor kids that you knew, or
Oh, yeah.
Were they?
Ladies from the village that we knew, yeah.
Ladies were pin setters?
Yeah, Rolling 40s, that was the name of our league.
Oh, the Rolling 40s.
Yeah.
That's excellent. But now, and you're saying there were women who were pin setters?
No,
No, in your league,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, the young neighborhood kids would set the pins. Yeah,
I like the name of the team.
yeah, Rolling 40s. Yeah, and then the garage and that, the bowling, and then there was a house there, and then Osterman Avenue there, and then we'd cut across the street and go through a path there to the grade school.
Okay.
That's where the path was. And then going north, I've got this wrong here. I got the Deerfield Bike Shop I got.
And I'd have to check that.
It was there sometime, but I'm not sure of the years. And then the Masonic Temple.
Right, that for sure. That's an easy one to put in there, because it had been a church, and then it was the Masonic Temple, and then I think it became the Village Hall and the Police
Yeah.
Department.
Yeah. And then I've got Myers House and Plumbing.
Yes. And that, I think, was a very old house in town,
Uh-huh.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it belonged to, I think John Willman said it belonged to Mrs. Heeman.
Oh, I didn't know.
Does that sound right?
I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know her.
Well, we'll check on that.
Okay, and then there was a garage, Deerfield Garage there, and then a road that went through there and came out on Deerfield Road, and then I got a tavern there.
I bet you're right. I think, would that have been in Willman's house?
Yeah,
His uncle, I think, or, I'm not sure his dad, but somebody in the family ran a tavern
yeah,
there.
yeah. And then vacant, and then I got Connect drugstore, and then I got a little restaurant.
And I can't, was it Slim's Walnut Grill?
I got Walnut Grill, that I didn't
There we
have-
go. We can't both be wrong on that one. So the Walnut Grill
Yeah,
restaurant. That's another thing. Does it seem interesting that there are quite a few little restaurants
uh-huh,
in Deerfield for a small town? Because there were, what, about 1,000, 1,500 people in town at that time?
I don't know if there was 1,500 or not yet.
That seems big?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then there was a service station on the corner.
Connects at one time, but I don't know who was running it when you
Yeah,
remember.
Yeah, and then that's Deerfield Road there, so I got that done on that side. Now, it seems to me I forgot to mention something to you here. I didn't go down very far on Deerfield Road after Mrs. Tracy's thing.
Okay.
Um,
So tell us again now what direction you're going?
I'm going west.
West on Deerfield Road?
Yeah.
From the hotel building?
Yeah,
Okay, toward the train?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
and there was Span Rafts Tailors in there someplace. And then an animal hospital, but I'm not sure what time that was.